So you're welcome back to another section, and in this video you're looking at single-sided errors, that is errors that will affect the agreement of the trial balance. Okay, that's what we are looking at for in this video. So here we are saying that errors that will affect the agreement of trial balance will draw the trial balance agreement out of order, meaning that the debit and credit won't agree. I hope that is clear, right? So under that, we'll be looking at single entry or incomplete records or partial omission. So in casting errors, reposition or transposition of figures, omission of balances extracted from the account, improper arithmetic or additions and subtractions, and wrong posting of figures for recording. Alright. So single entry or incomplete records or partial. Single entry here, you mean they are entries that are made just once, just only one posting, right? Let's say the debit or the credit, but they do not complete the double entry rule. Anytime the double entry rule falls short by one, then we are saying that such entry is called a single entry. Or in other words, double entry was not completed, so we can call it incomplete records. Alright, or partial omission in the sense that one part of the transaction or the entry has been omitted, and so therefore it becomes a single entry. I hope you get it. So anytime we have single entry, we are talking about entries that have been just once, single, just one in the books of account, where double entry is not properly adhered to. It becomes a single entry or incomplete records. At the end of the day, the double entry wasn't complete, so it becomes incomplete records. And so therefore, once part of the transaction has been omitted, then it becomes partial omission. Just one part of the transaction has been one part of the entry, either the debit or the credit has been omitted. I hope that is clear, right? So that is partial omission or single entry or incomplete records. Now casting errors here, I think here casting errors has to do with either the overstatement or understatement of the figures. For example, if I should have, let's say 241, that should be in my books. By the end of the day, I go on to have, let's say 251. Remember, this should have been in the books, but now we are having this. This is an error. So here you see the figure has been inflated or increased from 241 to 251. I hope that is clear. Or it can be that the figure should have been 251, but we wrote 241, and that can also result in undercast. So anytime you heard of casting errors, we are thinking of overcast and undercast, and this error is just made on one side of the account and fail not to do the other side. Okay, so let's say if you made 251, sorry, let's say at the debit side of the cash book, but fail not to, let's say, credit your sales, then it becomes a casting error, meaning that the debit side of the cash book is increased by 251, but you fail not to record them at the credit side of the account. And I hope that is clear. That is why we have casting errors, either undercast or overcast, and it's made on only one part of the account. Keep it here in mind that the single-sided errors are errors that are made on only one part of the account, and the other part is omitted. In general, that's why we can look at that. They are made on one part of the account, but the other account is omitted. It's not actually taken into account. So put at the back of your mind that every single-sided errors are made on one part of the account, but the other is omitted. The other account is omitted. That's the general rule that you need to understand. I hope that is clear, right? Then we have reposition or transposition of figures. I think we saw this in the double side when we were discussing the double-sided errors. But just that here, you just made it on one side of the account and fail not to record it in the other side of the account. Okay, changing of figures or changing the position of the figures, that's transposition. All right, so here let's say if it should have been 121, but they made it at the credit side of the sales to be, let's say 212, sorry, 2, let's say 121 or 111, sorry, 112. It made, let's say 112 instead of 121, then it becomes what? A transposition. And this one was just made on only one part of the account, let's say sales account. It was only made, this entry 112 was made at the credit side of sales, but we made the actual correct entry 121 at the debit side of, let's say, cash. Because it is one side that has been transposed, it becomes what? A single-sided error. So let's take note of that. Then we have omission of balances extracted from the account. Here too has to do with where after extracting the various accounts for the various transactions that comes in, you fail not to add them as part of what? The balances that will be existing in the trial balance. So anytime you fail not to present any account that should be part of the trial balance, you just omit, let's say omission of the credit balance of, let's say a credit balance of, let's say a creditor. Because you know a creditor will have a credit balance, they are suppliers, right? So if they should have been included in the trial balance, they should be found at the credit side of the trial balance, but you fail not to present it, or let's say omission of what? A debtors account, which is 1, which should have been found at the debit side, but you fail not to present it, but you have already made the other entries in the other books, but you fail not to what? Present it on the trial balance. And it happens like that. The trial balance won't agree because you have failed not to bring that account to be part of the trial balance. Just 1, but you have made the other to be part. Alright? So here the debit side is omitted. That's the test. If you to be credit, the credit side is what? Only omitted. And keep it at the back of your mind. I'll repeat again that all the single-sided errors, one thing you need to understand here is that it is one-sided error. One part of the account or one part of the double entry which is what? Omitted. Put at the back of your mind that it's one side of the double entry that's what? Omitted. And when it happens like that, it becomes a single-sided error. Whether what or whatever the name, it becomes still a single-sided error. So let's take a note of that. Then improper additions, proper arithmetics, that's additions and subtraction here. Instead of you adding some of the figures, let's say at one point, let's say at the debit or the credit, you fail not to do proper additions or subtraction. That one can also result in an error and can be a single-sided error. This one can also happen on both sides. When we're discussing double-sided error, can also have this error occurring. Depending on how it is, it becomes an error. Then we have wrong posting or figures for recording. For example, let's say you should have put the item at the credit side, but you posted it at the debit side. It becomes what? An error. Just 1, but the correct entry has been made in the other account, but on one account you fail not to make the correct posting. When it happens like that, it becomes what? An error. That's what I mean by wrong posting or wrong figures for what's recording. Just on one part of the account. Please note, this one is on one part of the account. All that you are seeing here, they are all what? Errors that are made on one part of the account. Errors, just one part of the account. That's whether it's a debit or a credit. Just only that. That's a double entry, where the double entry is not properly what? Adhered to. So put at the back of your mind here is that anytime you're having a single-sided errors, there are those errors that's where the double entry is not complete. That double entry is not what? Complete at all. We couldn't apply the double entry perfectly, and so therefore resulted in what? Single-sided error. So let's take note of that. Thank you. So here, that is this error that we're looking at. So next you are going to look at an account called suspense account. So you are saying that for you to correct single-sided errors, they are always corrected using the journal and then suspense account. Using the journal, they are corrected using the journal and suspense account. suspense account. They already corrected using the Gen 9 and the suspense account. That's where we can correct our single-sided errors. Alright? So what is then a suspense account? We are saying that a suspense account is an account that is created in the boost to cater for all the differences that has arise in the trial balance where the trial balance failed not to agree. That difference is placed in the suspense account. How we are getting what I'm saying? So anytime there is a suspense account in there, meaning that there has been a difference in the trial balance, in which the difference is placed in the suspense account pending further investigation on the records that we have done. So in general, you can say that suspense account is an account which is temporarily open to record all the differences that arise in a trial balance pending further investigation on such records before we can make proper investigation of what actually caused the difference. The difference will be actually placed in a suspense account. Then after the investigation, once everything is done, we are able to rectify all the errors. At the end of the day, when you extract the suspense account and everything is perfect, the suspense account will agree, meaning the debit and the credit side of suspense account will be perfect, and we are good to go. I hope that is clear. So if let's say the difference, let's say I have a trial balance. Let's say I have a trial balance. In the trial balance, you're having details, you have debit, and you have credit. Let's see again, let's see this. And let's say if the total should have been, say, 100,000, sorry, but the debit was 1,000, right? The debit was 1,000, but the credit was, let's say 950. What is that? Meaning that the credit side has been shortened by 50, and so therefore that 50 we are going to place it in the suspense account at the credit side, which is 50. So once you add the 50 to the 950, then you get the 1,000 that you're having. So this 50 is the difference that was occurring in this trial balance, and so therefore it will be placed in the suspense account until we do proper investigation of the records that we have done or the entries that we have done before we can. Once all the errors have been known, when you balance off the suspense account, the 50 will be removed, and so therefore the balance of all the entries that will be found in the suspense account after balancing are going to get an equal balance at the debit side and at the credit side of the suspense account. So it's an account that is created to cater for all the differences that arise in the trial balance pending further investigation and record. And we are saying that as a temporary account, put at the back of your mind, because you created just for a shorter period of time. It's not for a longer period of time, just a shorter period of time. And that's a suspense account. Let's take note of that. So this is where we bring an end to session 3 of correction of errors and suspense accounts. So in the next video, we're going to look at how to make adjustment to correct errors in the net profit, then in the balance sheet as well. So let's take note of that. So if it was helpful to you, please consider by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video where we discuss net profit, effect of errors on the net profit, and then the balance sheet. Bye bye.